me okay? Alright, so today I'm going to be talking about the Kanto TUCs. So these were just released. Should I say released? You can pre-order these starting today. And they will be delivered. Let me see here. They will be shipping starting September 6th. So let me know if you guys can hear me. Just want to make sure. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Streaming. Okay, cool. Can you guys hear me? Question mark. All right. Brett Smalley's here. So Brett is from Kanto. So he's here to put the pressure on me right now. You know what I mean? No, I'm just kidding. Brett's a cool dude. He knows that I'm gonna say whatever I want anyway, right? And that's what these guys want. Like any good company, you know, they send stuff out to me and they expect me to say what I really think about it, and that helps them out, right? And that's what you guys want anyway. You know, you don't want me to tell you something that's not true about a speaker. And so I will be talking about the pros and the cons, and every speaker has pros and every speaker has cons. So there's no perfect speaker. At least there's no perfect speaker for everyone, right? So there might be a perfect speaker for one person and it's not perfect for someone else. So my goal is really to try to find the right speaker for each person. And, that's all I can really do. All right. So you guys can hear me okay? Cool. All right. We've got some people in here. Well, just to start off, can we say that this looks awesome? Look at this thing. I got the white one. They have a matte white one and a matte black, and this thing looks crazy, right? You got your AMT, and this is aluminum, and it has that inverted rubber surround, right? I believe that's rubber. I can't tell because it's in there. And so it just looks great. Even my wife, she just came out, and she's like, man, those are handsome. And so that's always a good thing. I will be reading the chat, so make sure to comment in there, ask any questions that you might have. Let me just say hi to everybody first. Let's see here. Just wanted to know if they're okay. So I just wanted to know if there are better thin than the transparent one Encore. We love you for your honesty. Thank you, Brett. Ishmael Martinez, what's up? You need a bit of volume on the mic. Need a bit of volume on the mic, huh? Let me see what I got here. Bit of volume. Voodoo, the best dad or techno dad. I got you. Cool. How good is the Funall stage? I do have a turntable here, and I have tried it. Here's the thing. I'm not big on vinyl, so I haven't tried any like super high-end phono preamps. Just the ones that come with the AVRs. So I have reviewed the Marantz AVR. What is that? 7013, which is like $2,200, and I use that preamp. I mean, I didn't hear anything bad, right? I have used a preamp that was noisy, and so this is not that, right? And yeah, I'm happy if it's not noisy. You guys are saying that I need a little bit more volume, huh? Let me see. Alright, so hopefully that helps a little bit there on volume. What else? Yeah. With the sound signature of the speakers, ask AB. I will definitely get into that. I have some graphs here for you. These are in-room response graphs, so they are just what I was able to hear in the room, and that gives you an idea of, just kind of like what I experienced, right? It might be different in your room, it might be different in an anechoic chamber, so just take that with a grain of salt. Alright, awesome video, you two earlier. Thank you. Techno Dad, what's up? What's up? There's Techno Dad right there in the chat. Ken Harvey says he's not a big fan of white. I prefer my speakers to disappear and just make the sound. Yeah, I guess that, Kevin, that really depends. So you're saying that you prefer maybe a black speaker, and I guess I would say it depends. Like if you have these near a wall and your wall is white, maybe these disappear better, right? So it depends. If you like to have your lights off and listen to music, or if you use these with your TV and you want to watch, with the lights off, maybe the dark one is better, right? TUK or Vanuatu and why? Different, completely different types of speaker. I think these better than JBL LS305. I believe you're talking about the LSR 305s. I have not tested those, but a lot of people have good things to say about it. What would be your ideal use for these? Desk, listening area, general, house sound. I will get into those. That was by Ben Morrison. I will get into that. Is it neutral, V-shape? Oh, the graphs. Yes. They'll be on the graphs. How far away do you set your mic up for measurement purposes? I think, what is it? About 18 inches away, somewhere around there. I actually move the mic around to see how it performs off axis, above and below, and try to figure out if there's any weird things that happen. So a few different locations. They look beautiful. I would buy them if they were in black or gray. They do come in black, right? Satin black or matte black. Let's see here. White helps with wife approval factor. Yes, it does. Okay. All right. Cool. So just keep the questions coming. I'll try to pop in here and try to answer as many as I can. Shout out to, I hope I say this right, Funall Audio. They reached out to me. They're sending me some gear, and they actually have these on pre-order, so you can pre-order from them. I have a link in the description for that, and so you can go to their website. Let me pull it up here. It is Funall, so fun and then allaudio.com, and they have it. So these are $7.99. So if I haven't said that already, these are $7.99 for the pair. I'm showing just one right now, just because you get the idea. The other one looks pretty much like this, except it doesn't have this stuff here. But yeah, so Funall, they're doing something pretty awesome here, and they're giving a discount. They have a discount code that you can use, and the discount is for 10% off your entire order. So if you find some stuff on there, some headphones, some amplifiers, and if you want to pre-order these, you get 10% off your order, and the code is JoeAndTell10, right? So there's that. So shout out to them over there. Thank you for sending me out some stuff, and you'll see it very soon. Very excited for that. So yeah, link will be in the description for that. What else here? Boom, boom, boom. Let me see. People messaging me. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. So let me see. Okay, that question's for Techno Dad. Do they allow low frequency crossover so I can send everything below 80 hertz to the subwoofer? They do. Yes. Now, forgive me because I got a chance to really test these out at the show. They had a room, and Techno Dad was there showing these off. He was DJing, doing his thing off these, and so I hope that he'll stick around because he might be able to answer a lot of those questions in the chat also, because he's the one who was actually showing these a lot, and so he knows, some of the ins and outs of these particular speakers. Are they better? How better are they next to the U6s? Well, they're significantly more expensive, so right there, that'll tell you that it should be better, right? And they're definitely better in my opinion, right? My problem with the U6s and the U4s initially was I love the fit and finish, I love the functionality, but I wish they had a little bit more bass, right? And I think those guys over there listen to that, and these definitely have bass. There's no problem in the bass department for these. Um, TUK versus LS50. I don't have any LS50s. Sorry. So, do you like these as much as Zeos? I have not watched the review. I saw him and another YouTuber. They had the reviews out, and so I haven't watched them. I just haven't had time. I've been out all day. So, the moment I got home, I set up this live stream, and now here we are, and we're talking. So, but yeah, I have those saved. I'm gonna watch them later after this. Techno Dad says TUK is way better than U6s. There you go. Sorry, Brett. We don't want to hurt the sales of your U6s, but we got to tell it as it is. Yeah, but you know, you pay for that difference. There's definitely a price difference. Do you know if the bass and treble settings are retained when you disconnect electricity? That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe Brett can answer that, or Techno Dad. I have not tested that, and so I don't know if it retains the settings. Good for a desk or too much? Just right off the bat, I would say, I don't know. I mean, look at these speakers that I have here right now. Look at that. I mean, that's probably too much also, right? And these also have some pretty crazy bass. So, no, I don't think they're too much. I think if you're like me and you're a little bit crazy, then they're perfect, right? But yeah, it depends. It depends. They do have a lot of bass. Let's see here. Okay, is being a mod on Budget Audiophile subreddit better than sex? David Carlson, that's a hard no. Sorry, Budget Audiophile. I love you guys, but you know, human biology and you know, it's good for a reason. I don't think we've evolved because of Budget Audiophile. Do they turn on automatically with Bluetooth? Man, you guys are asking all the technical questions right off the bat. Let me run through the specs. How about that? So the last question was here, and I'll make sure to continue from here. So let me run through the specs here from their website. So this is a 5 1/4 aluminum driver. You have a 28 millimeter by 35 millimeter AMT, so that's a air motion tweeter, right? This is also called a folded ribbon tweeter, and yeah, I don't know the exact technology behind this, but they do have a different characteristic than a typical dome tweeter, whether that be a soft dome or an aluminum dome. The audio, the amplifier on this is a Class D, and it is 260 watts peak, but who cares about peak numbers? We're looking at RMS, and it's 130 watts RMS, so that's what, 65 watts per channel. And the frequency response, 50 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Babies. 50 hertz to 20 kilohertz, and these guys are being very generous. Kanto, you guys are awesome for doing that, because most of the time, companies go the opposite direction where they claim their frequency response is lower than it actually is, or they'll play tricks where, like, you know, they'll take the frequency response when the speaker's like in a corner and maximize, you know, bass. But 50 hertz, if that's what you guys are claiming, thank you for that, because I think that you guys are actually doing better than that. Let's see here. As far as inputs, you have Bluetooth 4.2 with Qualcomm aptX HD. What else here? A dedicated phono preamp. Let me turn this around. A dedicated phono preamp. Right, so there's no switch on there, so you can actually have an RCA and a phono preamp. So that's awesome. Because you know, with other ones, you have to pick and choose. Like, do you want what do you want? Do you want an input from a Chromecast audio with RCAs here, or you know, or do you want a turntable? So this guy gives you the option to pick and choose and just change it with their remote. What else we got here? We have their optical, the Toslink, boom. You have your USB if you want to connect this directly to your computer. Right, so this does have a built-in DAC, and this is cool. So it has a 5 volt 2 amp USB, so that's handy if you want to plug in, you know, let's say if I want to power something like that Chromecast audio and I don't want to have to run an extra cable, I can just plug that in here, Chromecast audio, and then I can go optical. Would be the best, right? All right, and then this output is for the speaker. What else should I say here? So subwoofer output, boom, subwoofer output, and it does have a both. This is something awesome. It has a low pass and a high pass crossover on the sub, right? So when you do connect the sub, low pass to that, and high pass to the speakers. Right? So your speakers can play louder. You can also bypass that, which is something that I found cool. If you don't want to apply a high pass, I think it's like holding down the sub button. Forget one of these. But yeah, basically you can bypass it. What else? Headphone. So that's cool. If you do want to use these at your desk, you can plug in headphones directly into this, right? And then you have your knob here for volume control, and then you can switch back and forth to different sources. And if you hold it, it turns it off. Hold it, turns it back on. What else here? Dimensions: 7 inches by 8.5 inches deep. All right, so 7.5 by 8.5 inches deep by 10.9 inches tall, right? And it says here the weight of the active one is 11.1 pounds. What else? What does it come with? So you have your remote, right? Nice hefty remote here. It comes with a power cord. Bust out all the stuff here. Power cord, right? And this is a thick one right here. Boom, boom. You got your USB to connect this to your computer. You have some nice banana cable. Long too, right? Boom. There's that. And a 3.5 to RCA. Right? White. I wonder if that matches based on which color you get. And then you have speaker grills. And that's almost sinful to put speaker grills on this thing, but there you go. If you have to do it, then there you go. I wouldn't recommend that though. Not that it looks bad, but this just looks so good. Right? So yeah, don't do the speaker grills if you don't. No. Keep those off. Alright. What else? So remote's pretty simple. Power, input, volume up and down, mute. You have your bass. You have your sub control. I think so you can turn your sub on and off. LED, treble up and down, and then to be able to reset the bass and treble, right? And then you can also reset your Bluetooth pairing. And cool thing is you can also control back, play, pause, and forward. What else? What else is there to say? That's basically it. Those are the specs there. Those are the specs, but you can read that on their website, right? So I think what you guys want to know is the stuff that's not on their website, right? Let's see here. What do you guys think here? Let me catch up. All right. Whoa, you guys are going fast here. Okay, so Brett Swally says settings are reset when electricity is cut. Okay, there you go. The active crossover further improves low-end resolution by filtering out frequencies below 80 Hertz. Correct. So yeah, okay. One of the questions here, and I think it's a fair question, is people are asking, how are these compared to the transparent one Encores? Transparent one, okay, so here's where they're similar. They're both active speakers. They both have lots of options for inputs. You have Bluetooth, you can connect it directly to your computer. You have your, in this case it's RCA. On the Vanitu's, it's a 3.5 millimeter input jack. But same thing, analog. You have your optical input. This has phono, the other one does not. So you'd need a phono preamp for that one. What else? Yeah, as far as sound signature though, so the Vanitu's, where are they? Oh, I have them boxed up. The Vanitu's are smaller than this, right? The Vanitu's are smaller. They have a passive radiator. They do have an aluminum cone driver, but it's not an AMT. They're using a 1-inch aluminum dome tweeter. And so the sound signature is very different. when I did my review of the Vanitus, I said they were extremely flat, like to the point where if you want to use them as studio monitors, then you can use those for studio monitors. They actually have a little bit more power than these, but you wouldn't be able to tell if you were to play them back to back. It's not something, because their box is smaller, they chose to use that extra power for more, to try to extend their low end while keeping the enclosure small. Whereas Kanto kind of went with a slightly bigger box, right? Went with a bigger enclosure, less power, but this one is ported, and I don't know how you guys did this, but this thing has some ridiculous bass, right? I think Chana can back me up on this. That's what he was demoing a lot of the time at the show, is the bass on these. They're ridiculous. Like, I don't even know how you tune this to have that sort of bass, right? So I'm not exaggerating. I mean, Chana, you tell me if it's not true. And that's the main characteristic of these. Ridiculous bass, right? The bass response is so crazy. Now, compared to the Vanitus are more of a flat sound signature, right? These are more enhanced bass, right? These are more impressive. If I brought a friend who wasn't in the audio, and I said, hey, which one do you like better? He's immediately going to say, like, dude, these bump way harder and it sounds clear, Whereas an audiophile person might say, well, the bass is a little bit turned up on this one. So, different strokes for different folks. Right. Hopefully that answers your question about the Vanitus versus these. Let's see here. So, which ones are, that's why I'm saying which one is better. It depends on who you are. Right. I agree with what Technodad here said. He said the Tuks will be better for larger rooms. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Alright, what's good? Alright, I just looked at the Kanto website. I'm guessing these will be great for distance. You can use DSP to cater. Yeah, and another thing that I like is I like the tone control. I like the trend of having tone control on these things because I can adjust it to how I like it. Now, what I'm going to be talking about very shortly is how Kanto has tuned this out of the box. So when you have everything set to 0, this is what Kanto thinks it should sound like, and that's very interesting to me, right? Because the tone controls will allow me to adjust it to how I like it. But I'm curious to see how they voiced it. That's something that I'm consistently seeing with the Totem review that I did. I said, they have a sound characteristic. And I like that because it takes a little bit of guts for these companies to try a new sound signature or have a sound signature that's, I don't want to say exclusive, but it's like their sound. And it might not be flat, but I like that, If they can be consistent across the board and have all of their speakers have a certain sound signature, that's cool because that's how you get loyalty, right? If you like the way that Kanto voices their speakers and they're able to do that along the entire line, that's awesome, right? Flat is cool. That's definitely the baseline. That's what everybody aims for. And I think, the best case scenario would be a speaker that could be perfectly flat if you wanted to, but you could adjust it to your own sound signature. Anyway. Right. Backported, sensitive to the wall, always, right? Let me see. AB says these are the Totem kin plays, and that's also a fair question. More bass. These have more bass. The treble on them, man, they sound so different actually. They sound so different because remember I was telling you how the Totems, they have it so the bass is rolling off, and so when you put those near a wall, they sound correct when you put them close to a wall, right? Not super close, but when you have them somewhat close. With these, I think if you put them too close to the wall, then it just starts getting really, really extreme bassy. But you may like that, right? The other thing I want to make sure to mention is that this has a thread on the bottom of these, and this is different from other speakers. And what I have to say is that Kanto's speaker stands are some of the best. I've said it in my old review of the U4 and U6s. They have some of the best stands ever. They match, first of all, right? So the paint matches. They're heavy, and they screw into this thing. So that's so cool because it acts as one unit. If you were to move the entire speaker on a stand, it feels like you're just moving like a tower speaker. Does that make sense? The bass is heavy, then you have the speaker on top that's screwed in, and also it allows you to tilt, right? So toe in or toe out, and then you can lock that into place. So basically, you can have the bass facing perfect. You know, a lot of us are a little bit OCD, right? So you can have it facing directly towards you, right? The bass is facing perfectly, and then you can have the speaker toed in just right, and you can lock that into place. So if somebody goes and moves them, you don't have to try to remember like, oh man, I got to redo this. Just face them so that it's parallel to the wall. The front is parallel to the wall, and you're okay. You know the toe in's still correct. So definitely, if you're gonna look at these or any of their speakers, consider those stands. They're better than any of the other stands that I own. They're more expensive also, but I think they're definitely worth it. I've even considered using their stands on some of my other speakers and like drilling some kind of hole, but I don't want to really drill holes in my speakers. But yeah, good job, Kanto. Where are we here? Okay. Decadentius84 says, "You're a beautiful man, Joe. Thank you very much. I'll take that compliment. Hopefully you mean that in a way, whatever way you mean it. Thank you." Alright. Harris says, 50 or 60 hertz is very good for music in a small room for bookshelf speakers. I use my, I believe you're saying SVS because it says Abs Ultra bookshelf speakers. Right? Okay, yes, you do. They have grills, take those off. Okay, so I'm just catching up here, guys. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit behind. AB says, where can I hear him? In Montreal. Okay. Okay. We got the feedback for holding the remote and pass it. Okay. Montreal. So Brett says Montreal latent audio. Cool. Bass. Any comments on the imaging and soundstage compared to the T1Es? Okay. Knock on the cabinet. I don't know if that means anything to you guys. Alright. Okay, so Brett, you gotta step out. Thanks for hanging out here, and I appreciate you being in here and helping to answer questions, and yeah. And thanks for sending these out. I'll get them back to you ASAP, don't worry. Okay, bro, okay. Alright. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Thujen says, I heard these at Montreal Audio Show. Very large sounding speakers. Yes. How do they compare to Totem sound signature wise? I think I already explained that. You're definitely going to see the difference. I wish I would have printed out a graph showing the two speakers, but there's just totally different sounding speakers. Not even close. I'm pretty sure if you played music on both, it will just be like almost like two different songs, right? Alright. These are straight targeted against the KEF LSX at $400 less. Yes, and I would say if you like bass, then it's no competition. I don't even have to hear the KEF LSX, and I can tell you, I did. I heard them at the store, and no, it wasn't close. Right, Voodoo says, do you game? If so, would you be getting Call of Duty Modern Warfare and gaming with Techno Data myself? You know, I don't game. I don't really have time, so my free time is spent doing this and hanging out with you. Here. Alright, Vanitudes take analog signal and converts it back to digital. Do these do the same? How's the onboard DAC? You know what? I've said it before in other videos. Unless the DAC is messed up or broken or terrible, I can't tell too much of a difference between DACs. I mean, it sounds correct to me. So I apologize. I wish I was able to tell, and but I really can't. All right. Can't compare it, but these make a. I want to say that these make the LSX sound like a joke because truthfully I haven't reviewed the LSX, so that wouldn't be fair for me to say. I'm only speaking for the bass, right? Because I can definitely say that I've heard them at the store, which is still not fair, right? They might have a lot more bass here in my room versus at Best Buy, but I just can't imagine that they would be equal, right? No, very few speakers have this type of bass for this size. All right, okay. So sound demos after the stream. All right, thanks for knocking. This are the Dynas. Man, I'm biased. I'm biased. I helped design these. Here. We got a 3-way design here. Yeah, I'm biased. So that's not a fair question. You can't ask me. You gotta ask. Next time Techno Dad's around, he can come and hear the Dynas and then he'll tell you. But it's not fair for me to say because you already know my answer. But you know what? Here's the thing. That's a good point that you made because the Dynas have some ridiculous bass. I think a little bit more because look at the surround on this thing. It's crazy. This is actually meant for a subwoofer, right? That's how if you look at the part on Parts Express, it's meant to be a subwoofer. And so this gets into that territory somehow without looking ridiculous with the crazy surround on it. So it gets into that territory. I'll show you. All right. Go. I see everyone is catching onto your vision of affordable gear. Thank you, Moon Man. Yeah, hopefully. He's not down, although I did give okay. Yes, hey, Techno Dad, thanks for the Xbox One S. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe my wife will start gaming. Who knows? Oh, okay. This is a long shot, but have you listened to the 3.1 DIY Swans? If so, I have not. I apologize. Heard a lot of good things about them. And these Hi-Vi tweeters, I think, are used on some of the other Swans. So, if, yeah, I've heard good things. El Jefe reviews, affordable audio is my cup of tea. Cool. Okay. Value for dollar wins. Okay, cool. Let me show you guys some graphs here. Let's do something a little different because I've been telling you, hey, these have crazy bass. But what I didn't tell you, right? So that's a Pro, right? Basically, I can't say anything too bad when it comes to the fit and finish, functionality. I am happy with all of those things. When I was showing these at the show, they actually had a subwoofer that they're working on, and the funny thing is that sub was having some weird interactions with a room, and I couldn't get it to sound right. So for the most part, we actually had it with the sub off. I think Techno Dad, I think he had it off pretty much all the time. And a lot of times people thought that the sub was on. So keep that in mind. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, basically they had a sub, and I don't think we needed it. Would you go with these? Would you go with these for a small living room or the ELAC Unify with an amp? That's a good comparison also. The Unify UB5s are some of my favorite speakers, and part of that is because they can hit so low. I think they're very similar in the bass department, right? If you've seen reviews on the UB5s, a lot of people say, man, I was surprised by how much bass that those had. They are similar in size, very similar in size. I would say the UB5s might be slightly larger, same size woofer, also aluminum, also rear ported. So, yeah, the main difference being, of course, the Unify UB5s are a 3-way design with a concentric mid-range and tweeter, and that's one of the real reasons why I like that speaker so much. And it has a crazy crossover network, and for the price, sometimes they go on sale for crazy low prices, like $350 for a pair. So those with an amp, that's hard to beat, But I'm a fan of those speakers, so keep that in mind. They're very high up on my speaker leaderboard. That's a very good comparison. I would say maybe it'd be interesting to see how these compare with the ELAC Carinas, right? Because I remember the Carinas, when I heard them, they had a similar bass response to the UB5s, right? But they are also using an AMT tweeter, right? That's going to be an interesting comparison. I think Techno Dad is supposed to get some in, so yeah, he's heard them both, or he will have heard them both, so we'll see from there. Let's see what else is going on here. That's Voodoo says the last video you guys did when you and Technodad were at Walmart, did you call out the audio holic guys camera quality? No, no. When I said something about quality, I was talking about Ron from New Record Day, because we have our own little group chat. I was talking about him and Michael Youthman, right, on YouTube. And basically, Youthman, he shoots with a Nikon, and we always joke like, man, the Nikon has such terrible video quality, and you're all like, your colors are weird or yellowish or whatever. We always just joke around. We're trying to tell him to get a new camera. But yeah, new Record Day, Ron, he shoots on a Canon, and the joke is just like that Canon folks always, only thing that they care about is shallow depth of field, so a blurry background. So anyway, we just have a thing going. I shoot on a Panasonic. Technodad, he shoots on a Panasonic. So, we're teaming on those guys. All right. What else? Frequency response graph. I got to show you guys this. Let's go here. All right. So the first pic I'm going to show you. Now, don't get scared here, because this is kind of crazy. So this is the frequency response chart in room, right? This is what I got in room. So everything looks kind of normal, right? So this is not including the port. So everything looks normal, and then you'll start seeing it starts to dip around like 300 hertz. Now that could be my room also, but it stays down there, and then it starts a little slight dip at 2K, and then what the heck? What's going on after 2K? What is that? Boom! It jumps up like what is that? Like 10 dB. Right? That tweeter is hot. Right? And so that's what I was looking at. I'm like, what are you guys doing with the tweeter over here? And I don't know. Technodad, did you notice this? Right? Did you notice that the tweeter seemed hot when you had it at the show? Because that's what this graph is showing me, and that's how it was performing in room. Now, could be different. Could be different in your room, but this is what I was experiencing in my room. Right? Now let me show you, this is the port in green, and you can see that the port, of course, it's doing what it's supposed to do, which is extending that low frequency response. So they are claiming 50 hertz, right? And typically what you do is you look at the minus 3 dB point. So let's say 90 is the baseline, which is a little bit high. I would actually put the baseline a little bit lower, well, depending on how you do it, right? Depending on how you calibrate, but let's just say 90, right? So 3 decibels down from 90 would be around the 87 dB point, and that would be around, I would say about 45, 46 hertz. So lower, right? Lower than 50 hertz. If I look at the F6 number, I would say that would be 90. I would say safely this speaker can play notes below 40 hertz, like slightly below 40 hertz. Just to be conservative with the numbers, I would say that the bass can get down to 40 hertz. So let me show you an average. If I were to average these two, that's what you'd get as far as the bass response, right? So very good bass on these. What else? What's the last frequency response graph? Now the treble, right? This hot treble that you see here, it's worrisome, right? Until you look and you just remember, hey, I actually have tone control on this, and it actually hinges at the right point. So if I turn the treble down all the way, so this is the treble all the way down, you'll get something like that, right? There's a comparison, the red line versus the yellow line there, right? So you can turn that treble way down if you want to really change the sound signature to something completely different than what it came with out of the box. And that's a cool thing with these active speakers, is you can kind of just change it, to your taste. So you can actually set this, if I were to mess with this treble control, you could get it so that the treble response is flat, right? It was just very interesting to me that their choice was to have a sound signature that was kind of like that, And if you look at this, what is the shape kind of like, right? The shape is kind of V-shaped if you really look at it. You got your bump around 65 hertz, right? That's where it's the highest on the low end. And then it's turned up real high around like 4K, right? With everything between those two decreasing, right? So slight V shape, right? Not the typical V shape, but it is somewhat V shape. And if that's what you're into, then that's what you're going to get, right? You're going to get a V-shaped response out of the box. But again, you have tone controls. If you want to change the bass, you want to change the treble, you can do that. Now, if you weren't here at the beginning, I do still want to give a shout out to these guys at Funall Audio. I hope I'm saying that right, Funall Audio, because they are offering a coupon code for anybody who wants to order from their site. They do have the Kanto TUKs there for $7.99, which is what they are everywhere. And they're offering a discount code if you use the code JoeAndTell10. They're offering 10% off your entire order. And I think that includes the TUKs too. So they ship out September 16th. September 6th is when they ship out. So if you're interested, you have the matte white, you have the matte black. Ooh, those are kind of nice. The matte black kind of looks nice. Even the cone looks dark. All right. So, any questions? Any questions? I just showed you the frequency response charts. What else do I have to do? I'm going to have to throw these on my speaker leaderboard, so that'll be on my final video. Maybe give me about a week, and I'll have a full review on these. But you're getting a good idea right now what I think about them, right? So I'm going to put these on my speaker leaderboard. What else do I have to do? I have to put some demo tracks. I actually still have to upload my demo tracks from the recording of the Totem Kin plays. What else? Speaker leaderboard, demo tracks. I think, yeah. That's basically it. What else you guys want to know? All right. Techno Dad, you're out of here. Hey, see ya. Take care, man. I'll talk to you later. You know. All right. Voodoo, was any of you demoing dual SB3000s? Could sworn I saw a post someone doing that. We were demoing the. Yeah, I was demoing a single SB3000, but not dual. All right. That's a sweet discount if you want these speakers. Yeah, and you guys won't believe what these guys are sending me. Something crazy. Like, let me just say this. I don't typically review headphones because I don't feel like that's my area of expertise. But I feel like it wouldn't be right for me to not review headphones just because, you know, just a few videos ago I said how if you're into audio, you're going to be into audio in your car, right? In your home. And maybe headphones too, right? You should care about headphones. And, you know, I have not been into it, but maybe I should, you know. You guys are kind of convincing me, hey, check out these headphones. And so they're going to send me some pretty awesome headphones, and I'm very excited to check those out. What else? What is the woofer material? I think this is aluminum. That's aluminum. Check out the new, aluminum. Your voice sounds off mic. I'm sorry. Do I sound off mic? Hello. Sorry. Pretty speakers. I'd like to hear a pair. All right, David Carlson, you're out of here. Hey, take care, man. I appreciate you always being in here. And, yeah, I'll talk to you later, too. Thanks, Joe. You're the best. Great chat, Joe. Catch you later. All right, guys. Well, how long have we... We're about 45 minutes in, and I think that's pretty good. Hopefully I've answered all of your questions about these. I'm going to check out those other reviews and see what everybody else thinks, because I like to compare notes. I want to see if my impressions of these match theirs, right? And it also gives me an idea what their preferences are so I can calibrate to them next time, right? So I know some reviewers like flat speakers. Some reviewers like me, I like bass, right? Everybody knows that. I like a laid-back sound signature. But I'm open to different sound signatures also. You know, some reviewers like V-shaped responses. So it's interesting. I'm glad that I got a chance to do the measurements to kind of get an idea how these actually perform and give you a visual on that. Um, any other questions? Have you seen the Mr. Speakers release his plans for the Alpha Dogs? I don't know, what are Alpha Dogs? Definitely subscribing. Thank you, El Jefe. El Jefe, what's up, my man? You look like El Jefe. On your profile photo, you look like El Jefe. All right. Rob says, "Hey Joe, love your videos. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for your support. Do me a favor. Make sure to check those guys out at Funall Audio because they were real cool for sending me out these very expensive headphones. And so I just want to make sure people who support me. It's like this. If you support me, then I'm gonna do my best to give back the love to you guys, right? That's how I work. That's just how I operate. So, any of these companies who were with me at the very beginning, Kanto, with me when I didn't have very many subscribers, and I just recently hit 30K, woo! But, these guys were sending me stuff out when I didn't have that many subscribers, so I got their back, right? When they want me to review something, no problem. Their competitor over there, I would say their competitor, because they're also in Canada and they make affordable active speakers, is like Fluence, right? They've always been supportive, so I'm supportive in return. So I appreciate people, right? I appreciate people who help me out. And the haters too. The haters are cool too. Thank you guys for watching. If you're out there, if you're a hater creeping in there and not commenting, you're just trying to see the mistakes I'm making, that's cool. You're giving me your energy too. At least give me, say something over here. Say something crazy. Don't just sit there. I like you guys too. Don't worry. I got love for you. All right, guys. Was also borrowing a Mercedes. You're probably logging off. Oh well. How? What? Borrowing a Mercedes? I was all okay. Yeah. Soundbar. Oh yeah, Jeremy. You told me that you had a dream after the video of Chana and I shopping for soundbars that you were at that Best Buy or something shopping for soundbars. That's crazy. That just goes to show the power of video, right? That's pretty powerful that you could have a dream based on something that you watch. So I think we did a pretty good job. Rob E says GLC 63 AMG is slow. Your M4 will dust it. Well, first of all, I don't have my M3 anymore. So it was M3, 4-door. M3 is the car I always wanted, but I don't have it anymore. I sacrificed that because I got these kids and the van life. It's just straight up like from that Fast and Furious movie where Paul Walker is like, he's revving, and then the next thing you see, he's in a Dodge Grand Caravan. That's me. But yeah, I mean, it will. It will dust it, but the AMG that we were in was also an SUV. That was a big vehicle, and so you got to give it props for that. You know what I mean? Being able to take off and have it, a bunch of people in the SUV. I think that's pretty awesome. I'm not planning on you want to take that SUV to the track. Let's just say, right? Dad life, yes, dad life for sure. Yeah. I will. I've had that life. I can always get another one. Maybe the next one will be, I don't know. I want something else, but I want a fun car. I always joke that the M3 was 0 to jail time in like 4 seconds. Right? Seriously, like on the street, it's not even safe. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. I was just recently. Here's a little idea of what I have in store coming up as far as videos. I had a guy contact me, and he has a Tesla Model 3, and he has his system decked out, and man, that thing was fast. He had the performance model, and man, that thing was fast. It was ridiculous. It was like almost made me nauseous. So that was cool. We'll have a video about that coming up. If you see behind me, I don't know if you can see, but behind me I have this is funny. I just picked these up today. The Symphonisk, and that's Sonos's collaboration with IKEA, right? They made some like funny speakers that part of the Sonos ecosystem, and so I actually need to go to Best Buy now and go pick up the Sonos Beam, right? Their sound bar. You know, I gotta test all these things out because this is what a lot of people buy, right? I want to see, maybe it's really good. Maybe it's really good. If I hook those up and then have wireless, not really wireless, but no signal wires going to the back speakers, maybe it's decent. I'm gonna have to go check it out. But they're $99. These things are cheap, so I'm excited for that. What else? What else? Yeah, I have a Rocky Mountain Audio Fest. I'm going to that. I'll be doing some seminars, doing some talks about how to get the younger generation into audio. So I'm very excited. Some very nice people over there at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest. So if you're going, I'll see you there. And if you're not, maybe consider going. It should be a lot of fun. Other YouTube reviewers there, I believe. I know Ron from New Record Day is going for sure because we organized that the trip to go there. So he's gonna go for sure unless something changes. And I'll be there. I'll be doing some video. I'll do some live streaming from there. So yeah, a lot of exciting stuff. What are you guys saying over here? Motorcycle next. Jeremy says, I'm glad to see that the Dynas still have a spot on your desk. Yeah, they're here. Motorcycle, yeah, right. Same here, I sold my E46 M3. No! You should never sell the E46 M3. I really hope it wasn't stick. If it was an SMG, then cool, you could probably get another one. But if it was a manual, ugh, ouch. Can't comment much while driving, but thanks for the video. What's up? Thanks, Ming. I remember you. You should reach out to HTD. They have pretty good passive sound bars. Okay. Forrest Gibson says they bought tickets today. Hope to see you there. Yes. Definitely come by and say what's up. I don't drink, so if you offer me a drink, I'm not about that. So I apologize. I'm allergic. It was stick bad. It was Rob. It was a stick, and you sold it. E46. Oh, man. I'm gonna have to go. That's a very bad choice on your part. I'm just kidding. I actually have to head out, go pick up that Sonos Beam so I can see how it pairs with this thing. And yeah, I'm glad you guys hung out with me. I think you guys are done asking questions about this speaker. We're all over the place now. We're talking about cars, talking about trying out small pair of Magnepans. I would love to. I'm down to try any speakers. Yeah, that's it. What are we? Almost an hour in. So cool. I'm going to have to finish my review on these. Got other videos lined up for you guys. I hope you guys are liking all the videos. And yeah, that's it. Anyway, that's it. Take care. Gotta go. Bye.